Hello, everyone, and welcome to What's Up Wednesday. I am so excited to be here tonight. And if you are watching on my channel or you're watching on Keri's channel, maybe you're over there on Rumble or you're listening later on the podcast, we are just so excited to be here tonight. And we're excited that you want to be here with us. So, hello to everyone. Am going to give it just a minute or two to uh, kind of go out there. We got a little off schedule last week, and I didn't have a Wednesday, so we got to get back in the groove again here, and we're back on Wednesday. And I'm so excited to have my special guest, Keri, from my table of three. Hello, Keri. How are
Yay.
you tonight?
I'm good. I'm excited to be here with you, Angela. I
Well,
see
good,
Jamie.
good.
Hey, Jamie.
Looks like we've got Jamie here. Hello, Jamie. Make sure everybody you give a thumbs up when you come in on if you're on my channel, her channel, both channels.
Right.
So let's see. I usually have a little thing I put on there. I'll leave this. I'm going to take the tickers off. They kind of get annoying after a while. So I can put it back on if we get a bunch more people in here as a reminder. We've got Chris and Larry in. We've got Alfonso. So welcome in, everybody. I'm so excited you're here. And
Yeah.
Keri, I'm sure will help me to say hello to people as they keep popping in.
Yes. Hi, guys.
So Keri and I were talking backstage, and if this is something you don't talk about like on YouTube, that's fine
Oh,
too.
it's
But she
fine.
was
Yeah.
telling me that she does a lot of baking for other people too, and I'm excited to hear more
hmm
about that. So maybe we can jump right in and start in about that. Do you?
Sure.
I don't think I got to ask you. Do you do farmers markets?
I don't do farmers market, or I haven't. Just because in our area it's kind of we have two, one on each. Well, we live out in the middle of nowhere, but on the towns on each one side of us, they have farmers markets and pretty nice sized ones, but they're kind of overran with bakers already.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
I usually just take orders by word of mouth. It gets around, and people
Mhm.
just either they text or call, or my husband's working on a business page for me to where they can order through the page.
Oh, that would be
But
neat.
usually, either a friend says, "Hey, my so and so in church wants three of these," or and I can pick them up. And so usually it's just word of mouth. So haven't done farmers market yet. I think it'd be a blast, but there are just so many bakers there already. I
Yeah.
don't want to get in their way, and I don't know how much I'd be able to sell if they're already there.
Sure. I can understand that. I used to do farmers markets. I used to actually manage our local farmers
Oh,
market.
neat.
And you'd be surprised though, how many different people can make different things. And so, like, if you have a niche of something, like there was one guy, that's all he did was bake a certain kind of bread.
Oh, yeah.
And it was kind of I don't know if his was technically a sourdough, like a wild yeasted
hmm
dough, but it was that crunchy bread that people weren't used to, and that's
Yeah.
all he did, and he would sell out every week almost, it seemed. And but then, you've got your other people that did the cookies and
Yeah.
muffins, and so that was kind of fun, but I did enjoy that, and I did bake for that. I made when he quit, I tried to make something similar to
Mhm.
that, and, um it's fun to bake and it's fun to share with other people, but I can
Yeah, it
understand that,
is.
it's a lot of work to set
It
up a
is.
tent and tables and all that stuff
Oh,
and
I
not
can
know whether or
imagine.
not you'll come back with all
Mhm.
of it. And
Yeah.
so,
And
yeah.
with sourdough, that's one of my specialties. I do a lot of sourdough. I do different times a year. I do plain all year round, and then I have some favorites like jalapeno cheddar and
Oh,
different
yeah.
things like that, cinnamon raisin that people order. But like it takes, sourdough takes a good 2 days if you're
Yeah.
doing it traditional for it to ferment and everything.
Mhm.
So usually it takes me all day to feed my starter, make it and work it, and then it ferment. I put it in the refrigerator for at least 12 hours. Oh, hello! Thanks for stopping by on your way to
Hello,
church.
Grandma's Homemade.
Yeah.
Welcome.
I see Nanny Tam in too.
Oh, I didn't see her pop in.
Yeah.
Hey there, friend.
So, but you don't never know. Like sometimes I don't have. I only have one oven, and so with it taking about 50 minutes for each, 50 to 55 minutes for each loaf, I have
Mhm.
real careful and plan my sourdough sales out. So I only take so many orders for that a week, and then once that's done, I know to close it down because I only have so much room back there in the one
Yep.
fridge and in the oven. So
Yep.
I don't think I could keep up like at a farmer's market. It'd be fun, but I probably don't have the capacity here to do that.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I did a bread wrap too, but that would be another one
Ooh.
of those things for you
Yeah.
that you'd be like, "No," because I had a double oven in my downstairs kitchen.
Oh
I have 2
yeah.
separate kitchens, and I call it my market kitchen, and we set it
Yeah.
up so that I could do, for the bread route 1 day a week and then the farmer's market another day a week, but I can't do all that anymore.
Yeah. I
But I
know.
always
It's
try to
so much.
encourage other people if they want to.
I love your downstairs kitchen. I wish I had another kitchen to do my canning and stuff in because
It's
when
so
you're canning,
nice.
it's everywhere. And
Yeah.
I'm like, it sure is the world. The days I'm canning is when people want to stop by and my kitchen's a mess.
Yes. So, you can do that's what I love. I do all my messes and canning
Yeah.
and stuff downstairs, but I will be honest, that kitchen stays cleaner than my upstairs kitchen.
Oh yeah. That's
I
because
think
you're the
it's
only one down there, right?
exactly. I think it's because 'cause I'm the one, and then after I'm doing stuff, I wash the bowls while the bread is
Right.
baking and whatever, and upstairs, like, if you looked, my kitchen is full, my sink,
Yeah.
because my son did his meal prep, and he has yet to clean that up, and I'm like, "I ain't gonna do it for you."
Yeah. Oh
You
yeah.
know?
My kitchen. I'm so glad my kitchen's around the way there because it's a disaster. I've been cooking all day and it's a mess. Like
Yeah.
I'll probably be up till 10, 11 o'clock just doing dishes and stuff. So
Oh, there it popped up. I couldn't get it to pop up. I can barely keep up with just my kids eating our sourdough. That's awesome.
yeah.
So there's several people doing sourdough. I actually have got 2 videos coming out. I have one on Friday and then one again on Sunday. It's 2-part series. I revived some sourdough starter that was over
Oh.
3 years old,
Oh nice.
neglected. I'm like, it'd been in my fridge for over 3 years, and then I had a 1 year and then a 6 month. And so that was fun, but I'm doing it as part of a collaboration.
Mhm.
So Chris and Larry and Keri, if you're not involved in it and you want to be, there is a collaboration going on right now about
Oh cool.
sourdough, and it's on Mountain Grandma and Yogi Hollow Farm. So you could check that out if that's
Yeah.
something you
I'll check
guys.
it. Mountain Hollow.
No, Mountain Grandma
Mountain Grandma.
and Yogi Hollow Farm.
It would have confused us both. Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Yogi.
co-hosting,
Okay.
and I think all you have to do is mention them, and then they'll add you to the playlist. So yeah.
Yeah. And you guys, I have allergies going on, so I am so sorry about if I sneeze or it's that time of year here.
It is
Yeah.
harvest.
So
Yep.
I
Oh,
was
you're
gonna
doing
say,
wheat. Awesome.
oh yeah. So you're doing whole wheat, Jamie? Are you grinding your own wheat from the wheat berries, or are you just buying like a whole wheat from the store?
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
Yeah. So I grind my own wheat. I have yet to be able to get my sourdough to the consistency I want using my fresh ground wheat. So I just stick to sandwich loaves with that because I don't have the time right now to experiment. But maybe one day I'll get my sourdough with the fresh ground.
It's harder to get the fresh ground stuff to rise the
Mm-hmm.
same, and it's just more dense.
Yes,
So
it
I
is.
usually do
Yeah.
a blend, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I may start off that way to get started. Hi, Amy.
And I was gonna say we've got Amy over from your channel. Oh, awesome. I'm so excited, Chris and Larry. It's so good to see you guys back in the YouTube um rhythm again. So I'm
Yeah. I
excited
was just
about
thinking I hadn't
that.
seen her in forever.
Yeah. They've been busy with some stuff going on, and I've noticed they've started putting out some content again, so I'm super
Awesome.
excited. Okay, she said it's whole wheat from the store. It's
Okay. Then you'll
tripled
play
in
good
3
guys. Yeah.
days. Is that normal? Um,
So
I've
your
had mine
starter, or
triple in like 24 hours.
are you
No,
talking about your starter?
48. I'm assuming she's talking starter.
So how
Yeah.
old is your starter, Jamie?
Maybe she's just making it from scratch
Yeah,
for the
maybe
very
she is. Are
beginning.
you just starting it or? So my starter, when I fed it this morning, I fed it at 8, and by 11, it had risen, it had doubled. So it's pretty strong. But I use your starter. Okay, I supplement mine with rye flour too. Like I mostly do cheap all-purpose flour, honestly, when I feed because you're just basically, feeding. But like once or twice a week, I feed mine whole organic rye flour, and it makes it super strong. So, but it took me forever to get started because I would kill every single starter. But somebody told me try to use rye flour, and then I started doing that. I don't like it when it's all rye flour because I
Mm-mm.
don't like the discard when you use all rye. I don't
Mm-mm.
like the pancakes and stuff like that. So every once in a while, about once or twice a week, I feed it rye. The other times I do, but it should double within a 4 to 6 hours at if you're going to bake with it. Wouldn't you say, Angela?
Mine usually has taken longer than 4 to
Yeah,
6, but definitely within 12.
yeah. I guess it depends on how cool it is in your house or where it's at.
Yeah. And how long has it been awake? Like,
Right.
how fresh is your starter? Is it
Yeah.
something you've been keeping going, or is it like me? You left it in the refrigerator for 6 months and
Right.
then you got to bring it back.
Yes.
It takes a few times to get it going. I find that any organic blend, we have an 8 blend organic flour that I can get
Mhm.
locally at a little store, and it will just it'll
Will
perk
it
up
do
big
it?
time with that. So
Yeah.
I used rye recently too. But we're getting way off on
Yeah.
sourdough, and we haven't even really talked anything about you or your channel, but
Yeah.
I do want to get real quick here to this
Mhm.
just because we were talking
Yeah.
about Chris and Larry's homestead.
I was
She
trying
said
to
they
read
took
that.
6 months off YouTube for the health of one of their children. Tristan is home finally after being gone in a group home for 2 years. So we're so excited that
Oh, yeah. I'm
things
so
seem to
glad
be
he's
better
home.
then. If you're back, I'm assuming things are better, so I'm
Mhm.
so excited about that for
Yes.
you.
That's awesome.
Oh, Rebecca says, "I've been making sourdough for 27 years, just plain white sourdough, but it's always good." Now, I don't know about you guys, but when I do sourdough, I want a sour sourdough. My daughter and I love to make a sour sourdough and put, avocado and egg and make a
Oh,
breakfast
yeah.
out of it.
I love mine sour. My family does not.
Yeah, my
So I
husband's
do
like,
have one starter that's really sour, and then one that I keep mild. I just feed it more
mhm.
often. I'm getting distracted by this big white dog out in the front window. The neighbor's
Oh,
dog's running around in my yard.
oh,
So
funny.
yeah, so I have some people order sourdough, but they don't want it to be sour. So I don't know. So I have a mild one and one that's not so mild. But most people, when they order sourdough, they're going to want it sour because it's what it is.
Yes, because I know when I was doing farmers market, we would never market it as sourdough. We would
Mm,
market it as a natural yeasted
yeah,
bread because people would be turned off thinking it was going to be that sour sourdough. But that's the
yeah,
thing about sourdough. When you bake with it fresh and often, it's not. You have to let it
yeah,
ferment to get to that point. So
yeah. I have
anyway,
some that is really strong. My son, he's like, mm-mm.
see now I don't want it all the time for all
Yeah,
the meals or all the uses, but I do like
yeah.
it
Some of my
sometimes.
sweeter, oh, she uses potato flakes.
Potato flake starter. I've never done
No,
that.
I haven't done it. I've heard about it, but I have never tried it. Something I need to try sometime.
Rebecca, we need to talk. So, yeah, email me,
Yeah,
theinquisitivefarmwife@gmail.com. And I would love to have a conversation with you about that.
yeah, that's pretty neat.
Oh, Amy's been milling her own flour for the last year and a half, and sourdough really intimidates you, but I just need to buckle down and start. Okay, well, there's a collaboration going on right now, and I'm sure
Mhm.
that Keri possibly has some videos, being that you are
I
this.
do have one or two. I need to do some more, but let me tell you, Amy. So if you can bake with fresh milled wheat, and that doesn't intimidate you, then sourdough it will be a breeze for you. Because I'm telling you, when I first started milling my own wheat, it was such a learning curve for me because I thought, hey, I'm just going to sub this in
Mhm.
my
Mhm.
regular recipes and sit the flour off the shelves. Yeah, we can all imagine how that went. It was a
Yeah,
mess.
that doesn't
So
work. And did you put
yeah.
in vital wheat gluten? Because I didn't know about that in the beginning either.
So most okay, a lot of times I do low carb food. So we had bottled wheat gluten on hand when I first started, and I used it a couple of times, but I honestly don't do it all the time. It just depends on if I have time to run back in the back pantry and grab that bag or not. But I've heard a
Mhm.
lot of people do it every time, but I don't. I'll try. I'll try to, Jamie. There's one I want to do a pumpkin. I did recently have been, and I'm sorry, Angela, I'm talking all about sourdough, but
No, no, that's
I
that's
started
fine.
a pumpkin one recently that is one of my favorite ones that I've done in a while. So maybe I'll do a video on that. And it's not sweet, like a pumpkin bread, like a quick bread, but it's really pretty. It's got an orangey color to it, and it's a nice savory bread, so it still makes great sandwiches. Or you could do a cinnamon toast on it, and that'd be really good too. But I may do the pumpkin video.
I've done pumpkin bread before too. When I had the bread route, I could give them the option, and I made the same flavor. Each week would be a new flavor.
Yeah.
And you could get it in what I called artisan, which is a lot like your round
Right.
sourdough crunchy loaf. It was the same fermented concept.
Right.
And then I had the other one that was your typical yeasted bread that was soft. And I would put those flavors in there, and people would be like, huh, what? And when I made a
Yeah.
pumpkin one once, I put pepitas with it and everything.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like mind blown that a pumpkin wouldn't be like a sweet, because that's what you
I
think of.
know. Yeah.
Yeah. But
people don't think about squash. It's basically just squash, and
yeah.
so, but they think that's because we always eat it sweet in muffins and stuff, and so yeah. But
Yeah.
it was really good. That one is. I may try that one. I'm behind this week. I'm supposed to put out a video. I try and do at least one a week on my channel, sometimes two, but this week it's kind of chaotic, so I haven't gotten any out. So
Hey, it happens. It
yeah.
happens. So let's learn a
Okay.
little bit more about you and your channel. But before we do that, friends, I'm going to ask everyone to do me a big favor. I'm so excited about the group that we have here watching now. But if you have a second and you can share it out on your community tab, that's going to get more people in here, and that's going to have more conversations to be brought up, and we'll just have a better time. So if you have a second and you can share it out just to let people know we're here, I would love it. And if you also could give myself and Keri a thumbs up, that really makes a difference too. It just really helps with the algorithm of everything. So with getting that out of the way, Keri, let me know what made you decide to start a YouTube channel.
So that's a good question. I ask myself that a lot of times. So one of my favorite things to do is to teach. I like to teach people to do new things, and so about 8 years ago, I started blogging and I thought, oh, I'm just going to do this as a hobby, because so I can write my thoughts out and document a way where I was trying to take the meals I grew up eating and change them into kind of healthier ones. So I started blogging that. Well, it kind of took off, which blew me away. So, and it's still going. That is my job. Is my blog is my main part of my job. And so I thought, well, maybe I'll try YouTube. So about a year after I started blogging, which is about 7 years ago, I put my first video up. Don't go look for it. It was, we
are now.
They're really, how they are. But Jamie has probably seen she's such a good friend, Jamie, watching my videos. She's probably seen those older ones. But so I just thought it was a way, because I was seeing more and more people that don't cook, like some of my own friends, and I'm not young, you guys. I just turned 47. So a lot of my own girlfriends have no idea how to cook. And I was like, well, why don't you know how to cook? And you're like, oh, because either their mom worked, growing up. So she didn't, they ate, what they could eat while she was working and stuff. Or they just didn't care to learn when they were younger. And so now they're always calling me and asking me stuff. And I was like, well, maybe I could do some videos and maybe it'll help somebody, maybe it will help somebody learn how to cook. And I don't do any fancy foods, but I thought, well, maybe it'll help somebody. And so that's why I started it. And I just do it part-time, because most of my efforts go between homeschooling and the house and blogging. And then I just do it, like I said, I try to get out about once a week, but it's usually just that, either showing somebody how to can something or how to cook something. Just hoping it will help somebody learn, and one less meal they have to spend money on outside the house,
I love it because, there is something about all the different generations. There's something that happens,
Right.
And it seems like there was a generation where there was a lot of no cooking. I mean,
yeah,
you don't see a lot of home ec classes anymore.
No.
I think I got to take some in middle school, but by the time high school was there, they didn't have any more. And it was really sad because my home room was on the classroom side, and behind us, they just put a curtain up there where it's like all these stoves and sinks and all this stuff set
Oh,
up. And it's like, I wanted to learn these things, you know? I
yeah.
got to learn how to do things like design a house. And
Mhm.
in a different class, I got to learn to budget like what it would cost to do a meal or something like
Oh,
that.
yeah,
But I
yeah.
wanted I wanted to learn. I'm like, I thought that would be so cool to
Yeah,
have
for sure.
all that access to us. But anyway, you just don't see that at all. My kids
You
were
don't.
never offered anything like that. They actually tore it all out and turned it into a printing
Oh,
room where they print T-shirts for the school.
oh,
So I'm
wow.
like,
Let's see what Chris.
we've got a new
Oh,
hello.
hi, Missy. It's so, I'm probably behind in the chat, so you guys forgive me, but uh Chris, that apple cake is so good. It's so funny because you know how we all have those recipes that are passed down from our grandparents and
Yes.
family. And that is actually my nanny, who is my mom's grandmother, and we always called her Nanny.
Oh,
Yeah, she lived till she was about, I want to say, oh, I don't know why, but we're in her 93, 94, I think. But she always made that cake and would bring it to everything. And then after she got too old to do it, my mom started doing it. And my mom made a couple of changes to it. I think she added more cinnamon than Nanny did. But and so now she's passed down and I make it. And you think it's something, but I've heard so many people say, "Hey, that's my grandmother's cake, just like that," you know.
now you're gonna make me make the cake. My mom shared my grandma's apple cake with
Yeah.
recipe with me, and my grandma made it every fall.
Yeah,
And
that's how we do it every
I
fall.
haven't
Yeah.
had the heart to do it since I lost her. And
Oh, it's so hard,
I
but it's a way to
just
honor her, you know, it
I
just brings
know I
back so
need to
many
do that, and
memories.
I should make
Yeah.
a video and,
Mhm.
share that with the world because it would be something nice, but I
Yeah.
just haven't had the heart because it was like, I don't know.
Mhm.
I just haven't been able to do it.
Yeah,
There's plenty of
it's
other
hard to get
recipes
past
I've
it.
done, but
Yeah.
not that one. But I need to. I need to do it.
Yeah. It's
Um,
a good one. It's easy and it's really good. You can make little mini cakes. I have some of those going into a bake sale that I'm doing this weekend
oh,
for my son's Roblox. You can do them. We usually
good
do it in a
idea.
bundt cake form, which is how it is on my blog. And now, my nanny did not put the caramel sauce on it. That was my
Oh,
change up, but
that
it's
sounds
good without
wonderful.
it. Yeah.
Um, so we will go back up to chat and catch a few quick
Yes.
things before I ask you another question.
Hmm.
Jamie wants to know if she can add all purpose to her starter now. I would say yes.
Hmm.
If it's up and going.
Yeah. It may slow it down just a little
70
bit, but it'll start back up. Yeah.
77 by a heater. It doesn't have to be that warm.
Mm-mm.
Um,
Yeah, it'll double faster if it's warmer, but it doesn't have to be that warm. It just takes a little bit longer to eat up all that flour.
hey, we all have flops when we bake. You're gonna
Yeah.
have flops as long as you're baking.
Well, let me tell you this. Let me talk about flops. Today I was baking pumpkin bread. Before we come on, I did 2 loaves. It never sticks. I promise you guys, it never sticks. And these loaf pans are a million years old, so they're really seasoned. I'm like trying to rush through and get through. And if both of those bread, and these are for somebody's order, okay? These are not just for a seat.
Oh,
If
of
both of
course.
those loaves did not stick and the bottom rip off, I am not sitting here. I kid you not. My son, my almost 15-year-old son said, yes, because that means he's
Because
going to
he
have to
can
eat
eat
it.
it.
I said, don't eat it all because I may turn them into cake balls and cover them with chocolate. But yeah,
Oh,
so talking
yeah.
about flops, I just had two a little bit ago.
See, you think just like I think. You're gonna turn those into
Mhm.
pumpkin balls, okay? I
Yeah,
had a friend who had something happen and a flop, and I'm like, "Don't throw it out. We're
yeah,
not done yet. We can repurpose this and
that's
turn it
right.
into something else."
Well, with food costs being so high and your time is
Yeah,
valuable, people don't realize when you're selling baking and selling stuff, you're not only charging people for your food, for the ingredients, but you're also charging them for your time and your electricity. So that food, don't throw it away. If it's
yeah.
edible, you can find some way to save it. That's for
Yep,
sure.
I'm the same way. Um, we had a question, do either of us have a video on pumpkin cheesecake? I do not.
I have a pumpkin mine. Okay, so most of my recipes, especially on my blog, for the majority of them are low carb, sugar free stuff. I am starting to put more of the things that I bake to sell on there. So I have several cheesecakes, but they would be sugar free. And I don't know if I think I've done the cinnamon pumpkin cheesecake on the channel, Jamie. If not, I'll have to look at it. But it is sugar free. You could just put sugar in it if you didn't need it to be sugar free. You could change the sweetener out.
Well, that sounds lovely. I have a pumpkin cheesecake muffin, but
Ooh,
not an
that sounds
actual
good.
cheesecake. I think a cheesecake sounds amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Me too, Jamie. If it's edible, it's gonna get eaten in this house, especially with teenage boys. So
you know what? It's okay if you fail. Just try again.
Mhm.
It's just flour and water. It's
Yeah.
nothing to be scared of.
Yeah, that's why I told Angela and before. I started I've been doing sourdough now for almost 3 years, I guess. 2020, the year of sourdough is what I like to refer to it as, because he wants to think about all the other stuff that happened.
Yeah.
But before that, I had tried 3 or 4 times to get a starter going, and I had killed it every time. Well, that's not to be honest. My husband baked it a couple of times because I was crazy enough to put it in the oven with the light on. And he turned the
Oh.
oven on, which was my fault because I didn't make any kind of note, but I've learned now. So yeah, it took me 2 or 3 times of killing it to get it started. But the rye flour, or maybe that mixture that Angela was talking about, is a good way to give it a jump.
Yeah. I was getting ready to say, now, if you think you've killed it, you may not have killed it, but if you put it in the oven, you killed it.
You killed it. If you bake it and it looks like a muffin, it's dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
I see
I didn't do
ginger in the
that,
house.
but I have neglected it for a very, very long
Yeah.
time, and you can bring it back.
Yes.
Oh, wow. She got to watch Meemaw cook on a stove.
Oh wow. Yeah. I want a wood stove for my house one day.
I'm not sure what this link is for, Jamie. Maybe this was maybe my channel. So if I missed it. Appalachian stack cake for special occasions such as wedding. Have you ever heard of that,
Oh,
Keri?
I have not heard of it, but let me tell you, I love me some Appalachian State cooking videos on YouTube. I love. A lot of people say I'm country sounding, which is fine. But I love to hear them talk, and I love to watch their food videos. There's a lady, I cannot remember her name. Maybe it's Appalachian Homestead. I don't know, but
Mm-hmm.
I
Patera?
love. It's not Patera, so it's not her. That's why I get mixed up.
Oh, who's the other one?
It's
Oh,
two girls, and they have a YouTube channel too. Katie and
is it the Flower Girls or what is their name? I know who you're talking about.
yeah, they play music, and Katie and what is the name of there? I don't. I'm so bad, but their mom has a channel, and it's Appalachian, and it's about all that they're cooking and stuff. So I wonder if she has a video on that stack cake that she was talking about, because I'm sure maybe she'll do a video. Shouldn't she do a video for us on it so I
I
can
think
see it?
so. We all
Yes.
need to. So you've been challenged.
Yeah, the Presley girls. That's it. You know who I'm talking about. She knows who I'm talking about. Yeah, their mom's channel is awesome. Does she? You have to look up that stack cake now.
We have missed a few people coming in because
Yeah.
I'm trying to catch up with the chat. We've got Tony, we've got Dale, we've got Ginger, we've got Joey. So thank you. Welcome in. We've got Carlene, prepping for heaven. We've got Keri. Okay, so I think I have gotten all the questions. So how I ask people to do this for me to make it a little easier. If you have a question for myself or my guest or something you want to talk about, put it in all caps, or at least put the word question in all caps, something in all caps. So it brings attention because, sometimes you guys get your own little side chat conversation going, which is great and fine. But I might miss a question because I'm trying to do everything.
Yes, that's it. Celebrating Appalachia. That's her. That's what I was talking about. So
Okay. All right. Awesome. They do have good food.
yeah.
So you said you started a blog first.
Yes.
And you've been doing that for quite a while. So I'll have to call you when I decide to get my butt in gear and reopen my blog again, because I think that YouTube and blogging really do kind of go hand in hand, because like when you make a recipe, instead of having to type it out, you can just put a link in your description for people to go to the recipe.
Yes, and that's what I
I
do.
love that.
They kinda complement each other, and
Yeah.
one thing bloggers always
Thanks,
want
Tony.
is link backs. That's important for SEO and to build, clout on Google, which right now is not really a hard time for bloggers because Google's been doing some major updates and changing a lot of stuff, so it's hit
Oh,
a
good
lot
to
of
know.
us pretty hard. But yeah, so the YouTube is a good link back. So when I say a lot of people like printable recipes, and then so it
Yeah.
helps them, but it also helps me because when I link my recipe in YouTube and they click it back, that's a link back. So that helps establish authority. So Google notices people going there, and plus they can actually print it off the recipe card from my thing. And I do have ads on my site, but I have a button if you ever get taken to it at the top that says jump to recipe, where you can just jump right past all that and it'll take you right down to the recipe card and you can print it there. So it definitely helps each other. It
I
definitely
love
helps
that,
each
and
other.
I'm gonna corner you more about that because things have changed so much from
Yeah.
several years ago when I was doing it, and there was never such a thing as click to go to the
The
recipe
jump
back
to,
when I
yeah.
was doing it, and now it's like if you don't have that, then, most people expect it.
Yeah.
So
And so if you don't, a lot of us bloggers, and there's millions of us, so it's like we all have an opinion about that, which we'll keep to ourselves, but because a lot of times, you hear back in the day when I started, like I said, over 8 years ago, almost 9 actually, when you blog, people like the story behind
Yes.
your recipe, where you got it, how you made it.
Yeah.
Now, society has changed just in this short 8.5 years to where they don't want any of that. They don't want to hear you talk about nothing but the recipe. And if you go on too long about ginger, I'm not funny, ginger. I'm crazy. It's a different thing, but they kind of go hand in hand. I was reading comments, but they don't want to read all that. So if you don't have the jump to button, you're constantly getting complaints about why do you have ads? I can't stand it, all that stuff. But people
Mhm.
don't realize when I put a recipe on my blog, I have made it at least 5 times probably. So I have bought ingredients 5 times for it. I have made it 5 times. I have worked out all the fails for it.
Yep.
And so I have put a lot of time and money into it.
Yeah.
And so people get aggravated about the ads, but that's just a PSA for everybody. None of you guys do that. You guys are all great, and you watch ads on our YouTube channel to support us. But that's why the jump to button is there. I hate it, but it's because people really don't have time anymore. They just want to get
Yep.
past everything and grab the recipe. So I keep it there because I write for them,
Mhm.
and so that I give
Well,
them what
and
they
if they
want.
like the recipe, they might come back and watch the
Right.
story
Yeah.
before. 'Cause I've done that before where I'm just looking for a recipe. I gotta get something on the table, and I
Yes.
click to it, I print it out, and then I make it, and then
Mhm.
I'm like, I might go back to that site
Yeah.
a couple times even, and that's just me personally,
Right.
but
Yeah.
I know it's just the fast-paced world that we're in right
It
now
is.
that
Yeah.
shorts do way better than actual videos
Yes.
do and stuff
Mhm.
like that. People want the little TikToks that tell you how to make things,
Yes.
and
2-minute videos. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and it's hard for me to wrap my head around all that, but I have found finally in the last, 10 days maybe,
Mhm.
where you can take your video and make a short from it, and it'll link people back to the video.
Oh, I
So,
didn't
if
know
you're
that.
making a recipe, you can make
Yeah.
a short, and then it'll click and then people, if they really want to know how to make it, they can click on that, and then it'll take you to the video.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh,
Wow.
girl, I'm gonna be able to teach you something.
Yeah, you probably can. Yeah. So when it comes to YouTube, I don't have a lot of fancy equipment. I was watching the one where you interviewed your last guest on Sunday, and he was like, "What equipment?" I was like, "I hope you don't ask me because what I use is my phone and a tripod. That's it."
Yeah.
So
We
when it comes to
are
YouTube, I'm not fancy.
Yeah, that's what I use too is my phone, but see, now that was the thing that we were talking and learning about. With you, it seems like our conversation tonight is pretty much sourdough, so
Yeah.
each guest, we kind of
Yeah.
go where they, have
Yeah.
things that they can share and enjoy. I
Yeah.
don't have a format. I mean, I have a few questions that I tend to ask the same
Right.
thing, but I let the conversation go. So like one of the questions we already asked you why you started YouTube.
Mhm.
And then another one I like to ask people is how long have you been doing YouTube?
So 7 years is how long I've been doing YouTube. Yeah, off and
Okay.
on. There's been
Or-
times within that 7 years, I probably did a video once every 7 months or so, depending on the stages of life that I was in at the time. One of the hard things for me to learn is sometimes you have to let stuff go for a while for that season in life, or I
Yeah.
get myself overwhelmed like I have this week, But so YouTube is one of those things. I love doing it. I love connecting with everybody and doing the teaching side of it. But when my life gets super busy or I get overwhelmed, it's one of the things I can let go a little bit easier because I don't depend. I am monetized, but I don't depend on the money. So it's really, you know,
Yeah.
they hold on to those pennies so they can hold on to them. And then I come back to it when I can,
Yep.
So yeah, 70 years. What is she talking about?
So it wasn't too long after you started blogging then, because you said that was like
Yes.
8 years. So
Yeah.
yeah,
About a
that's
year
cool.
after. About a year after, yeah.
That's awesome that you did that. So are you on any other platforms? Like, do you do the TikTok and the Instagram and the Facebook and all that stuff?
Yeah, I do Instagram and Facebook. Facebook is my biggest platform.
Me too.
I guess because I'm the OG crown, they say Facebook is for old people. I guess I'm the
Mhm.
new old people. So I like
Yep.
Facebook. Okay, honestly, I hate social media altogether. Sorry, you guys. But I have to do it on it because I'm on for my business and my baking business and all that. But Instagram and Facebook, that's it. I refuse to get TikTok. I never ever got Twitter because it made me.
Oh,
It just no. I wouldn't do Twitter. I don't want to do TikTok because look at me. Can you see me dancing around like some kind of crazy person on TikTok? Probably not.
I don't even have the TikTok app.
Me
I
either.
won't do it. I don't have an account. I won't
Yeah.
do it. I don't need one more thing to make me go down a rabbit hole and get distracted. I just don't
Yeah.
need that in my life.
Oh,
But
I know. So
I do like Facebook. I understand
yeah,
Facebook. Instagram and I
yeah,
have a real serious love-hate relationship.
yeah. So that's the same way and I have a couple of different. I have a couple of different YouTube channels, a couple of different YouTube pages that I manage on Facebook and Instagram. But on Instagram, I stink at it. Like one of my table 3, I've had it for years. I got like 2,000 followers. The other one's a newer one, and I've only got to like 168. But it's a very small niche. That one is. But yeah, I'm not good at. I like Instagram better than TikTok or any of that, but I'm not very great. I haven't grown my following because I don't do. I just
Yeah.
don't spend a lot of time on it because I just don't have time to
I can't
spend.
keep up with all of it.
Yeah, I don't
I
know if
just
I want
can't.
to because people spend way too much time. Here I am judging people. I don't mean to be, but it's just so funny. People spend way too much time on there and they forget about their personal in life connections. I think we're
Yeah.
kind of all moving away from that, which is sad, but.
Yeah.
It is a sign of the time. It is what it is, right?
Well, and that's what makes them want to just quick
Mhm.
on everything because
Yeah,
your attention span just isn't there anymore.
right.
Um,
Yeah.
it's not, and besides, it's not even Twitter anymore. Prepping for heaven, it's X.
Is that what they call it now? Is that
Yeah,
what he
and
changed it to?
I have an account, and every once in a while things get posted to it because somehow I have it all
Linked
attached,
together?
and I'll go to make a post on Facebook,
Yeah.
and then it'll say, "Do you want to put it on Instagram?" And it
Yeah.
used to be
I used
Twitter
to do
too, and I'm
that.
like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
but I'm not active. Like I don't even open the app for
Yeah.
months.
Yeah.
Hey!
I tried it for a
Oh,
while. Oh, there's a net. But I just,
I'm
that's what
glad
it
to see
was.
you.
It was definitely not heaven on earth for me. I was like, no, too much drama, too much people saying too much stuff they shouldn't say. So I
See,
got
no,
off
I
real
never even
quick.
got into it. I never even paid attention.
Yeah.
I don't even yeah. So I guess I'm out of the loop. I'm an old fogey.
No, it's better to be out of the loop, I think. Yeah.
um, let's see. I'm trying to think of some of my other regular questions I ask. Oh, your name. I always ask
Mhm.
people how they came up with the name of their channel.
So there's just three of us in our house. It's just me, my husband, and I have one son. Well, with us, I have two other children in heaven, but Nate is the only one that we have here with us. And so I cook for a table of three. And so when I started my blog, I called it. You know how you rack your brain, thinking what, because you're hoping for this big epiphany and something that's going to like, oh, that's such a good name.
Yes.
So I did that with the blog for hours, and I just got so tired of it. I'm like, I just need something to explain what I'm doing. I'm like, it's just cooking and everything. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna, because all I do is cook from the table of us, my table of three, and so
I love
that's
it.
like, yeah. And so, and then the YouTube, I was just copied that because I'm not that original with coming up with something new, you know.
Oh, well, I did the same thing. The only reason I actually had a name was because you had to have one to have a blog.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay. And then, now I have a name to put on my stuff at farmer's
Mhm.
market or whatever. And so I'm like,
Yes.
well, I'll stick with this because I've already got a name,
Yeah.
but I've noticed that it's very hard for people to say my name. But I'm like, when I open my blog, how do you find a way to tell everyone who you are and
Mhm.
what you're about in just a couple of words?
Right. Right.
And so it's hard. It's hard to come up
It
with a
is.
name.
It really is. It really, and you can go down so many rabbit holes with
Yeah.
just trying to find. Yeah. So
And then you
I
find one
settled
you
with
like
that.
and someone's already got it. And
Right. Yeah.
yeah.
And the domain, if you're blogging, the domain has to be open, and you would be
Mhm.
surprised. You may come up with some off the wall idea, but
Mhm.
that domain has already been bought. Yeah. So yeah.
Oh, I keep forgetting to push
Hello.
the button before I wave. Hello.
Hi there.
Oh
I'm so
boy.
behind on comments. And if you're on my channel and you commented, I'm sorry. I can't even see my channel because I'm scared I would
It
mess something
should
up.
pop up on the thing, and it's the
Oh,
one that
okay.
has like Annette is on your channel and Jamie's on your channel because it has it looks like a paperclip.
Oh, that's see, I'm
And
technology
so
illiterate.
those are all the people that are coming from your channel. The thing
Oh,
is,
cool.
they can only see comments from your channel though. So
Oh,
they can't
okay.
see the comments from my channel. In order to be able to see comments from both channels, you have to be from the
Yeah.
host. Yeah.
Yeah.
So any of you that are on her channel that
Mhm.
don't understand, I try to pop up
Oh,
like for
yeah.
example, see if I can find one. I
There's
try to pop them up
JJ.
every once in a while if they are pertaining to our conversation here. And is this Michelle or JJ or
It's
both?
JJ.
Hello, hello. Oh, it's Michelle
JJ.
isn't home yet. It's JJ. Hi, JJ. Good to see you. I hope your work day went well too.
Yes.
I don't know what it is this time of night. I'm yawning. I'm really surprised last night that on game night Tony didn't scold me for yawning because on Sunday I got in trouble and I'm going to yawn again.
Oh no. Yeah, but yeah, that's just another sign out all that. Oh, hold on. Hey Nate, will you go lock the chickens up? Sorry. I was like, when it gets dark, and then I realized, oh, it's just about dark, and we gotta go lock the chickens up because they free range, and then they put themselves to bed, but we have to go lock the coop up because if not, we'll wake up to a massacre.
Oh, yeah.
It's bad here. I mean, it's so
We have
bad here.
coyotes really bad here. I'm really
Yeah.
lucky that the big dogs keep them away, but
Yeah.
you can
Well,
hear them so close.
ours is mostly coons
Mhm.
and stuff that get in ours because they will get in the coop in the run somehow, and they will go. I mean, they have. Yeah. I have to be careful. We have to make sure we do it right at dark too, because I think they're sitting on the other fence, on the other side of the fence, waiting.
Oh.
Yeah, and they're not scared of our little dogs at all. Which who blames them? Our dogs together weigh maybe 20 pounds.
Oh my. Oh. Well, I'm glad he would did that for you then, see.
Yeah, yeah.
You're gonna
He's
have
real
to
good
you're
about
gonna
it.
have to get a, sponsorship from one of those electric
Yeah,
ones.
and we have actually the coop that we got. You can get a kit that puts a door on it, and I just haven't done it that
Very
either.
cool.
But yeah,
Oh my.
But yeah, that's what I was saying. When it gets dark like this, I'm like pretty much shutting down.
I
Well,
hate winter because I'm like, okay, it's 3 o'clock, it's dark. I need to put my pajamas on.
yeah. Listen, I don't know. Like when you're a homeschool family and you work, I work from home. My husband, he works for Penske, but he works remote. So he works from home. We homeschool. So sometimes I don't get out of my pajamas. Okay.
Oh,
So wake up in the dark in my pajamas. The sun goes down. I'm still in my pajamas.
I know. I have, especially in the winter, I will do
Yeah.
that. I mean, there's nothing wrong with going out and doing chores in your PJs.
Yeah. Oh, nobody sees you when you're out like we are.
Yeah. I just put on my overalls and go
Yeah.
milk and come back in and enjoy my coffee and
Yeah.
think
I
about getting
know.
ready for the day later.
I usually it depends on what I'm doing. Like if I'm doing a big cook day like I had today, I had to cook and then I had a business meeting and then I had to cook some more and then this meeting. So I went from being covered in flour for half the day to having a shower, get dressed for the business meeting. And then I went and cooked and had to change my shirt again in time for this because I was covered in flour again. So I'm a
Oh,
cook,
funny.
messy cook for sure.
Oh, me too. I love my aprons.
Yeah.
I'm a real big apron person. That
Yeah,
is
I need to
just
get some more. I have several, but I need to get me some more aprons. So, because I get them dirty and put them in the dirty clothes, and then I don't have it. I have to
I
do
bet
more
I have at
cooking and it's
least like
dirty.
20 aprons.
Yeah, I think I
It's
just have
sad.
three. I have
Well,
three.
I'm like you. I'm messy, and then I'm always
Yeah,
wiping my hands on it,
yeah,
especially, the down
yeah.
the lower part, and you use it like a towel, a pot holder.
Mhm.
I do all kinds of
Yeah, and
things
I
with
don't
it.
know how I get the flour all over me. Seriously, because I measure it
That
out
stuff
and
goes
weigh it.
everywhere.
It goes everywhere. Yeah,
It does. It's there's been
yeah.
times when I was doing the bread route where I didn't have a time to shower
Hmm.
after I would get up early in the morning or stay up late through the night and bake and then milk. And then by
Yeah,
then, the bread would be cooled, I'd package it, and I didn't always have time to shower, and I'll be doing my route, and then all of a sudden, I'll look in the rear view mirror, and there's just flour
yeah,
everywhere, and I'm like, "I'm so glad most of my customers are gone during the day,
yeah.
and I just
Oh
drop it
yeah,
off because
yeah.
you do, it gets, like, everywhere."
Yeah, sometimes when I have a big baking day, like if I'm doing cinnamon rolls and there's like a lot of sugar and stuff at night, I have to take a shower. And when I take a shower, it's I can feel the sugar and stuff. I feel like it's caked on me. I'm like, I've got to get this off because
Mhm.
it's like it's just it gets everywhere. Trying to see if I'm missing.
Oh, girl. Yeah, I run myself ragged this time of year.
Yeah,
I do it all year long. Carrie and I were just talking about that. Why do we
yeah,
overcommit ourselves to all these things?
yeah. But
Mm,
you're talking about it. I start myself. I try not to do that because I know I get frazzled and then I don't function well if I'm overwhelmed. So I'm very routine and a very big creature of habit. So I have a list and I have to check it off, and it keeps me running and keeps the house running.
good
But
for
if I
you.
overcommit or something gets thrown into my schedule that wasn't on the list, it's like, wait a minute.
I'm
Oh
not
yeah.
organized enough to have a list. And you're probably like stellar at this, but like my biggest nemesis is meal planning. I'm
Oh,
just so gosh darn proud of myself that I have something in the crock pot for tonight.
yeah, so I have to though, Angela, because like I said, my brain is so chaotic all the time. I'm a hot mess. So what I do before I go grocery shopping is I check the pantries, I check the freezer, I see what I have, and then I make a meal plan and I shop to that because I was wasting so much food years ago. Stuff would go bad. So that's how I keep it. But the meal plan really it really helps me because working and homeschooling, running Nate to and from his stuff, if I don't have a plan of what I'm going to cook, and plus we have our main meal in the middle of the day before Anthony goes to work because he works 2 to midnight.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so we have our big supper is what we call it, but it's at
Yeah.
lunchtime, about
Okay.
noon or so. So I have to have it all ready before he goes. And so yeah, if I don't do that, so I do. I live out of my instant pot and my crock pot a lot of times, but I have to meal plan. Sometimes I switch stuff around, but only reason I do it is because I would lose my mind if I didn't.
You guys,
or
I
we'd
am
all be
so
starving because
sorry
I
for
wouldn't know
all
what
the
to cook.
yawning. I'm not bored, Keri. I promise. I just can't control it.
Oh, you're fine.
It hits me about,
Yeah,
sunset. I don't know why. Because I'll stay
that's
up
fine. Yeah,
till seems like after 11 lately. I've been not going to bed much before midnight. So I don't
yeah,
know why it hits me this time of day, but
yeah.
I apologize, but it does.
Oh, you're fine. It didn't bother me.
Jamie says she's the same way. It's like throwing a sledgehammer to routine. I got to
Yeah,
get out of shape. Trust.
yeah, and yeah. I try to go with the flow, and most of the time I can. But when you've already got a schedule that's like so jam packed, and you don't know how you're going to get it done, and then you're like, oh, here, put a couple more things in there. You're like, what?
I'm
You know?
terrible at time management. I'm like, I'll tell my husband, okay, it's just going to take me a minute. And he's like, I'll go to the truck when I see you go through the kitchen.
Yeah, yeah,
He knows
yeah.
that I'm bad about it.
Oh, wow.
Jenny Scratch My Kitchen has just agreed to hand make a quilted canning mat and apron for prizes for Noodle November.
Oh,
Woohoo! I'm going to
wow.
win that one.
That's awesome.
I already claim it. I already claimed the prize.
Yeah, I was gonna email Tony. I am not gonna do Noodle November just because my collaboration Thanksgiving pies is in
Oh,
November. And
see, we got so sidetracked. I really wanted to talk about that a
yeah.
lot.
But last year I had so many collabs that I had committed to that I felt like I could not run my own very well. So I was like, okay, and
Yeah.
I was so stressed all the time trying to make sure I get the videos out. And I was like,
Yeah.
okay, this time I'm not going to do that to myself because so I'm really sad that I can't.
It's
I
hard to
love the
say
noodle.
no.
Yeah,
It really is.
yeah, it
I
is.
love collaborations, and I made a goal a
Yes,
few months ago. I was going to try to do up to one a week. But now when the new year starts, I may have a new plan.
yeah, I
But
love doing them too, and they're so fun. But at this time of year, so many good ones start.
yes.
That I
And you're
say
probably going to get
yes
busy baking.
because I'm like, yeah, I'm doing the baking, and then uh yeah. So this time I'm like, oh, I gotta pick and choose, and it's so hard. It's so
Yeah.
hard to say no. Like I wanted to do, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do Noodle November. I'm like, no, you can't. So yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
I
just be
think I've
watching.
picked out my recipe for Noodle November. Um, I said what I was gonna do, but I don't know if it's really technically a noodle, so I might have something else going on and use it for a different time. I don't know.
Well, last year Tony was real lenient. He let me. I didn't. Last year I used heart of palm noodles, which is not pasta at all. It's a keto option for pasta, so he let me do
But
that.
it's a
So,
pasta alternative,
well,
though.
yeah, it is a
So I
pasta
guess
alternative.
this
Yeah,
might be too what I have in mind. So yeah.
yeah.
So tell us about the Thanksgiving pies collaboration that you're hosting, because I don't want to let that go by without.
Yeah, so this is my second year to do it, and it's basically any kind of pies that you would do. I even last year I even did a couple of savory pies, like what to do with leftover ham or turkey, and
Oh yeah.
anybody can do that if there's one. But yeah, any kind of your favorite pie. And we're gonna run this year a little bit shorter. Last year I did it from the 1st to the 22nd, I think, but that's only like 2 days before Thanksgiving or so, you know. And so this year I thought, to give me more time to do the live stream after it and for the okay, I see Tony. Thank you, Tony. I'm sorry I told you on live stream to email you, but I forgot. Um I'm only gonna do it for
We'll get back to
16.
those ladies.
Yeah. Who is it?
There's a couple ladies going to have collaborations, and we'll get to it before we
Oh
end the
yeah.
live, I promise, and we'll
Yeah.
talk about that. But I want to make sure that Keri can talk all about hers for
Yeah.
just a little bit, and then I'll get back to the side chat.
Yeah, so we're going to just do pies, and this year I've decided just to do it the 1st through the 16th. So it's going to be a new pie video every day, maybe one or two a day, but most likely it's just going to be one a day. And then on the 17th, which is a Sunday, I will do the live giveaway. I don't know what the prizes are yet. I'm still trying to figure that out, but the email for that is going to go out to the creators that are doing it this week. So if you're one of those, I'm sorry I'm behind, but that's going out this week, hopefully tomorrow. But so a new pie every day, and we're going to end it early. That way, everybody will have time to do their shopping. If there's one or two pies they want to buy, that gives them, another 4 or 5, another week to buy their ingredients
Yeah.
before Thanksgiving. So, and then we'll do the live giveaway. Last year, I couldn't do the live giveaway until like a week or week and a half after it ended, and I don't want to wait that long this time. So,
Yeah, especially if you happen to have a prize that's fall themed or something,
right,
and if
yeah,
you do it, afterwards, it's kind of hard.
yeah. Oh, there's my friend, Silver
Um,
Rose.
I'm excited because you're trying to make sure that you don't have duplicates of pies.
Yes,
Although I could make an apple pie totally different than
right.
you make an apple pie.
So
So,
different, yeah. Like
there is
last
that.
year, one I learned so much, and a lot of people do different stuff. Like Ruth at the Home Sandwich at Zimmerman's,
Mhm,
she helped me a lot because she made a pecan pie, but without corn syrup. She used maple syrup, which there's a few ingredients that I try to avoid and don't buy. Corn syrup, I do use it sometimes, but I try not to use a lot of it.
mhm.
And so that was a major help for me. So when I saw Ruth do it, I'm like, what? Why hadn't I thought of that? So there may be 2 or 3 different pies, like you said, 2 apple pies, but they're going to be so different because people's cooking styles are so different. It's
Yeah.
really, really neat to watch. And I mean, you can't go wrong with pie, right? If it
I'm
is, it's
really
like,
excited about mine. The only thing is I may not cut into mine and
yeah,
actually show the inside of it because it's gonna be probably saved for Thanksgiving, but
yeah.
I'm excited about what I'm gonna make and what I'm gonna do with the pie. I hope it
Oh,
turns
yeah.
out. I'm really
Oh yeah,
excited.
I don't have it. I'm gonna do. I'll have the video on the first, and I'm gonna do another one on the 18th just to close it out.
Oh,
I'm
that's
sorry, the
nice.
16th. The 16th. Sorry. Yeah, just to close it out and give details. But I have no idea what kind of pie I'm making. Last year I made a quiche and showed you how to use leftover ham and or turkey. And then I did a sugar-free Snickers pie, which is one of our favorites. And I think I did. Oh, and then I showed you how to can pie filling. So not exactly a pie, but that is one of my favorite things to have on the shelf.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's pie filling. So I think I did that. So it's real fun to watch everybody do their pie. So
Well, that's exciting. I'm excited for that, and I hope that you all are excited because November's gonna be here before we know it.
yes, oh,
And
it
so
is.
it's
Okay.
all my focus on my channel for the first couple weeks of November is going to be ideas of prep for Thanksgiving type
Yeah,
things, whether it be, side dishes or pies and desserts, or I'm not going to do like a turkey because
yeah,
you do that in your pajamas at, 2 in the morning, right?
right. Are you
Or am I
in?
the only one?
I'm in a collaboration. I think it's November the 3rd, actually. Oh, it's coming so soon. About
Yes,
Thanksgiving
there is
sides.
one
Are
on
you
the
in that
3rd that's
one?
coming out.
Yes.
Mhm. And then I'm doing the other one on the 5th.
I don't know what that one is.
There's 2 of them, and they both are gonna be, side dishes for the, Thanksgiving side
Yeah,
dishes.
okay. I'm only
So
gonna do that one because, like I said, I can't take on too many collaborations the further we go into November because of so much stuff. But I was like, when she asked me to do that one, I was like, okay, but
well,
no more,
the way that I looked at it is, I'm gonna be making these things for Thanksgiving anyway,
Mhm.
and this is gonna make it easier for me because I'm gonna have my 2 sides
Yeah.
and my pie
Oh,
done, and I'm
yeah.
gonna put it in the freezer and have it ready for Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah, that would be so awesome. Yeah.
That's my plan. So, we'll
Yeah.
see how it all works out.
I always forget about Canada having their Thanksgiving so much earlier than us.
Yeah,
So,
it's already over. Yeah.
yeah, I always forget that it's before our uh Halloween here. Their Thanksgiving is before Halloween here. So, I hope
Okay,
you had a
so
good
let's
Thanksgiving.
catch up here with the chat real quick. Jamie is having an open collaboration, Delicious Desserts, and that'll be in
Oh,
November. And Annie is having a collaboration in December, Handmade Homemade
oh, that
Christmas.
would be good too.
So, you'll have to let us know, is this crafting only? Is it cooking only? Is it both? Let us know a little bit more about your collabs if you want in the chat. Um, Yeah, I
There's
agree.
always
I'm
so
so
many
excited.
good.
I want a chocolate peanut butter pie right now. If someone could just hand that to me.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm so proud of myself. I have my soup in the crock pot. I'm trying a new
Oh.
recipe. It's called Busy Day Soup. Have you ever tried that?
Oh, I haven't.
It's
Yeah.
like vegetable soup, except instead of potatoes, you use pasta. That's what it's like to
Oh,
me.
wow. Yesterday,
Um,
we had a chicken and gnocchi soup because I pulled it out of the freezer and threw it in the crock pot because I was so
Yum.
busy. And today I filmed a YouTube video for my other channel.
Now, tell me about this. You have more than one channel. I didn't
Well,
know that.
it's very small. It's very narrow niche. So it's a vegan channel because so we are Orthodox Christians, and so several times in the year we fast from meat and dairy.
Okay.
Like one time is nativity, so coming up to get ourselves ready for the nativity of Christ, we fast from dairy or meat, and so all of our and
Okay.
oil. So a lot of the recipes I do on that, mainly that is a smaller channel. Like there's only like 14 or 15. So is mainly was to help people in our church that were new to that kind of recipes,
Yeah.
or if people like vegan food. So it's all that kind of stuff. So it's
If
not
you
very
wanna
big.
if you wanna tell me the name of it, I'll search it real quick and then I can put it in the chat for people.
Oh, you may not can even find it, but it's called the Orthodox Christian Table. It's so small you may not can even find it. Let me see if I
Kitchen
can.
table?
Yeah, I'm sorry, the Orthodox Christian Table. Yeah,
Christian table.
yeah,
I can only, do so much.
right. No,
13 subscribers, I think I found it.
yeah, there's
Oh,
not very many at all, and that a lot of people may not be interested in that because it will talk about facet. Like our preacher will do some recipes on there and different things like that. But if anybody's looking for vegan recipes, that's what they will be there. So
well, I'm sure that that would be very helpful to some
mhm.
people.
Yeah.
So, let's see. There we go.
Oh, thank
Very
you.
cool. So if anyone wants to check that out, if you're looking for some meatless meals,
Yeah.
that would be
Or
a
if
good
you just
place to
want to see
go.
my crazy tail more than once, I'm over there too. So
Yeah, yeah. So that's cool because I know that Big Valley Living is going to be going what'd she say? Plant-based forward.
yeah.
And so they're making
Mhm.
cheese that's non-dairy and all
Yes.
kinds of fun things. So
Mhm.
yeah, I'm
Yeah, so
sure
like
she would enjoy
the
that too.
recipe I made today was a crock pot. It was like a Mexican quinoa, and it was quinoa,
Ah,
black beans, corn, tomatoes, and then kind of flavor it up like tacos. So, and it's going on that channel probably sometime. Honestly, probably sometime early next week because this week's so busy. But I did get it filmed today, so but it's a vegan. It was pretty good. It was kind of bland at first because it's not one of my recipes. I try other recipes too on that channel, but I spiced it up a little bit later and it was really good. So great
so do
meat
you
stuff.
put those recipes on your blog too?
So some of them I do, like this one belongs to another blogger. So I probably will just link back her recipe and then
I do
underneath
that too.
that tell how I adapted it. That
Yeah,
way, yeah. But if they are, I do have meatless plant-based recipes on my blog though. Yeah,
cool. That's
yeah.
good to know. Okay, so Annette says, anything you make at home, craft, cooking, homemade jams, etc. It's an open collaboration with myself and Lynn at the
Oh,
Bucket
cool.
List Homestead. There will be no giveaways due to the cost of postage, etc.
Oh
Well,
yeah.
and that's totally understandable because I know that Lynn is in Canada and
Yeah.
Annie,
Annette's
she's
overseas,
not
isn't
here in
she?
the US either. So it's hard to do prizes. But
Yeah.
you know what? I've been involved in several collaborations lately that don't have prizes,
Mhm.
and I'm having fun with doing that too. So
Yeah.
I think
So some of the
that
ones, a lot of the ones I do, I say I have two groups of YouTube friends. I have the homesteader great group like you guys that I find,
Mhm.
and then I have some more that are more like they do like cleaning, cooking videos. And when I do theirs, they don't have giveaways or logos or stuff you add. You just do
yeah.
it and everybody drops at the same time. And honestly, I really considered doing the pie collaboration this time because it's less work. It's that lazy
Mhm.
sounding. You just say, hey, everybody's dropping on this date and you drop it and then everybody can go watch all the videos when they have time.
Yes, there was a crock pot one I was in. Were you were
Yes,
in that one too,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's off of that chat that I actually got the
Yeah.
2,
Same for me too. The sides.
yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
those 2 ladies were off of there. I
Yeah, so
met
I
them
really like
new.
that format. and so I'm really looking forward maybe to moving more in that direction because it's just it's just a lot less stressful, and people
I
don't feel
like
obligated to watch them, all at once or.
I like both. I
Mhm.
I I enjoy I enjoy doing it different ways, I guess I
Yeah,
should say, because sometimes it's fun to build up the anticipation and you get
right.
this prize and
Mhm.
every day for a certain amount of time you're gonna get to go. But then I
Right.
also like the, idea of a drop. I did that for the first time in May.
Mhm.
I think it was like some cider day or something,
Oh, yeah.
and that was fun.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
yeah.
anytime I do one with Sammy over at Managed Maze, the first time I done one with her, I was like, "Hey, where can somebody send me the logo or the playlist? Do you have any slide?" And they're like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "Oh, okay, never mind."
Yeah. So, yeah, you've got some people here in the chat that might enjoy. They've got meatless meals every
Yeah,
Friday. JJ is talking about
plant forward. I
he
gotcha.
is so excited for her mozzarella that
Oh,
she's
okay.
gonna
Is
make.
did she do a video? Have I missed it?
I don't think she has, but
Oh,
he's
tell
been
her.
asking, I think, for one.
Yeah, tell her to do one
If
'cause
I'm
I would
wrong,
love to see
JJ,
it.
tell me.
Mhm. Yeah, we so during the year we do meatless on Wednesday and Friday, and then sometimes a year we go for about 6 weeks, and so we have one at the Nativity that starts November the 15th, and it'll run through December the 24th, and then we have it again around Lent, where we eat meatless the whole time for 6 weeks. But
Okay.
so if you notice, my channel changes. You may have noticed it. And during the winter months, like Thanksgiving, now we do on Thanksgiving, we do have that day, we do eat whatever on that day. But like, oh, there she is. I just watched her on your
Yeah, from Sunday.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But so yeah, if you notice a shift in my videos, and I do a lot of cooking, but I freeze a lot of it, like the cookies and the pie. That's because we're not eating that kind of stuff during that time. So that's why I
Oh,
don't eat
yeah.
it like or take. Yeah. So
I usually just show whatever I'm cooking at the time, depending on what's going on in my life.
yeah, I'm gonna type something in the.
If you look, I actually put a link to her other channel.
Yeah, if
It's
you
up,
scroll
just
up,
go
Angela
up
did
in the
that.
chat.
And it's very small, guys. I'm just now starting. Like I said, it's mainly got started because some people in our church asked about it because they were newer, just started coming to church, and so they were looking for meatless meals. And I only put some on there, but I'll have other contributors too that will be putting on meatless meals and different stuff. So all kinds of stuff. It'll be fun, but.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, I can't believe it. I just looked up and we are already past an hour.
Oh, it's been an hour. Oh wow.
That really went fast. And I think I only asked you a couple super simple
Oh,
questions.
yeah, because I
And
talk. Once you get me started, I just
Oh,
run the mouth.
well, me too. I mean, and that's the way I do my, interview chat nights or whatever,
Yeah.
is I just kinda go with the flow of it, and, I'd rather have fun and have
Oh,
conversation, and
sure. Yeah.
so anyway, I won't keep any of you any longer because I know time
Yeah.
is precious, but thank you all for being here, and
Yes.
thank you
Thank
so
you
much,
guys.
Keri, for coming in. I really appreciate you giving us your time
Oh,
tonight.
yeah. I had a good time. And thanks for everybody that watched and hung out with us. I appreciate you taking time to watch.
Yeah, and come back next week, and I will have Mountain Grandma on as my guest.
Oh,
So,
fun.
we'll see you all
All
then.
right. See
Bye.
you guys.